3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, this is Andrew of MMA Sucker. With us we have Derek Henke, who's taking on Edward Avale at the Alerus Center for Throne MMA this Saturday in Grand Forks. You can get tickets online or at the box office, and you can watch the show on MMA Futures, an online streaming service. Derek, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, man.
No, I appreciate you having me on the show.
Yeah, so you're going from amateur to pro. How's it feel?
It's a big step. I mean, I haven't fought in 7 years, and it's going to be different. And now they can throw elbows and knees, which they didn't do before. So it's going to be different. It's going to be a big step up.
And so just tell us, how did you get into this crazy sport of MMA?
I actually did it to impress a girl in college. Started doing a kickboxing class at University of North Dakota. Was taught by a former UFC fighter named Pablo Garza. Showed me progressive martial arts, Ken Greer, and kind of stuck with it and been here ever since.
Gotcha. And so, can you tell me the differences between MMA and pro? I think it's elbows and knees are allowed?
Yep. So when I did it, it was no elbows or no knees allowed. So now in professional, they're allowed just because amateurs, you aren't paid, so there's no point in getting all bloody and cut up. So elbows and knees, I believe there's a couple more things that are different, but I can't tell you off the top of my head. But yeah, elbows and knees are the big ones.
Are you feeling, how are you feeling 2 days out of the fight? Is it like a, kind of like a side nervous? Is it nervous, butterflies in the stomach? Like, what are your feelings?
I would say that it's kind of hard to judge because I haven't done it so long, so the nervousness hasn't really set in quite yet. I think tomorrow at weigh-ins, it'll really set in, and then the day of the fight, that's when I'll start getting the jitters and start getting really nervous.
Gotcha. So Edward Avale, your opponent, he's also has a bit of a career in MMA. Is he making his pro debut as well? Or?
Yep. I believe it's his pro debut.
Okay. I know do you know anything about him? Is there anything that you've learned at all?
I know that he likes to throw kicks. I believe he's a Taekwondo specialist, so he's gonna be throwing those kicks. As far as what else he does, I know he's from Belcourt, so I know he's gonna be a scrappy guy and he's gonna be a tough opponent.
Gotcha. So is it easy to prepare for an opponent who you know very little about? Do you see it as a challenge, a good challenge, perhaps?
I would say it's a good challenge. I mean, I've had a whole all around bunch of guys coming in and helping me train for this. So if he throws something that I haven't seen in his fight videos before, I think I am prepared with the guys that I've been training with.
Gotcha. And so after this fight goes your way, are you planning to take more fights? What do you want? Where do you see your MMA career going from here?
I'm hoping with Throne MMA being in North Dakota, I'm hoping that there's more fights available and more local fights, because traveling from my amateur fights, it is what it is, but I'll do it, but I'd rather have it be local. But yeah, if this fight goes well, I'm hoping there more keep coming.
Yeah, that's one thing that Throne MMA has done, is kind of reopened that door of MMA in North Dakota. That was here before the pandemic, but then the pandemic kind of ruined it. So yeah, that means less traveling to Iowa, Minneapolis, even Canada at times. Yep. So do you think that Throne MMA is, after Throne MMA kind of like puts its foot in the ground, you think we'll see a lot more?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, with Throne MMA putting their foot in the door in Grand Forks, getting a good crowd out at the Alerus Center, I believe that with how the fights were progressing before the commission shut down and then COVID, I think it's going to just rebound back and then keep going. Hopefully more fights in Grand Forks, Fargo, and other local areas.
And so what do you like to do in your free time when you're not training?
My free time, I like to spend time with my 2 dogs, spend time at home, and then in the summer I like to golf as much as I can.
Gotcha. I guess about going from amateur to pro, I should have asked this before. What is the hardest aspect about? Is it training harder now because you know that it's just a more elaborate, or
I would say it's probably harder training, because amateur, you can go in there and be like, it's kind of iffy, like you're not getting paid, you're not doing any of that. But pro, I think pro is when it really matters, when you put your name on the line, you put your gym's name on the line, and the people that you train with. So I think just that psychological aspect, it's going to be a totally different game.
Gotcha. And so if anybody's looking to get into MMA, either training or if they're inspired to fight, is there any advice that you would have for them that before they put their feet forward?
Yeah, I would say find a local gym. Try to find a gym that's got a good group of core guys. not one that's going to throw you in a fight 2 months from now just because you know how to do a good kick. Find a good group of guys, get the training in, put the time in, get your jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, boxing, whatever it is that for your game, wrestling, get it all well-rounded, and then put your forth and effort. And then, like I said, those group of guys are going to say your levels here, they're going to push you past that and beyond that level.
And as well, I want to give you an opportunity to plug your sponsors, coaches, gyms, or anything else that you want to, anybody else you want to give a shout out to.
Yeah. First and foremost, I'd like to thank my gym, Progressive Martial Arts, probably the greatest MMA gym in Grand Forks. Got jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, boxing. Solid group of guys, probably the best guys you'll ever meet. Josh Greer, Ken Greer, and Jeremy Such, best coaches that I've ever had. And then as well as my sponsors, I'd like to thank Drain Savers for being a sponsor, Badman Designs, Zagi Yoga, Twin City Motors, and I believe that's it for my sponsors, but big shout out to Progressive Martial Arts.
And I also want to give you an opportunity, if you have any comments or statements you'd like to make to your opponent, Edward or Vale, the floor is yours, sir.
Come prepared. Let's make it a good fight, man.
And you can see Derek Henke take on Edward Vale this Saturday at the Alerus Center in Grand Forks. Throne MMA. Tickets are available, and if you can't make it, you can watch it on MMA Futures on streaming, which I think is $19.99 if now that I'm remembering. But Derek, good luck in your fight, man. I think it's going to be an exciting fight. I'm looking forward to your pro debut, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.